Now we have finally defeated Saturos in Minority. And the reason why you guys lost was not because of your superiority and your overconfidence, but it was more based on the fact that you guys threw away your humanity in wanting to make sure that the lighthouses were lit. Well, we did what we could, so we might as well, and everything's not over yet, so we still have the Jupiter Lighthouse and the Mars Lighthouse to go through. Oh, what are you talking about? But Felix is gone and he's taken Sheba, and now he has the stars with him. The Jupiter star and the Mars... Well, we still have the Mars star, but he still has the Jupiter star. And anyway. And yes, we did finish them. And he says that he is no match for us at this current state. So, as you would have guessed, Felix is going to try to make his way out of here because he still insists that the lighthouses need to be lit. And he calls us poor fools. Oh, what the hell, man? What will happen if the beacons are lit? Just wait and see. Well, why aren't you telling us now? Well, we are about to try to get Sheba back, but evidently the lighthouse erupted. And everything doesn't seem like it's going to go according to plan now, because the lighthouse is finally going to be activated. And, yep, as you can tell, we can't reach Felix at this point. So, what can we do now? Now that the light has been ignited from the Venus lighthouse, that means the Venus lighthouse, or the power of Earth, has been raised back into the world of Wayard. And as we can tell right now, looks like Sheba is about to meet her end, based on the eruption of the lighthouse that's going on around the place. Or down on the surface below, where it's making everything move or shift based on the plates that are around the lighthouse, because, you know, the power of Earth can produce earthquakes and all that stuff. Welp. And looks like Felix is very insistent and wanted to try to save Sheba. But now she falls to her doom. And Felix is gonna follow suit. Oh my god. He didn't seem like a bad guy at all if he wants to save somebody, so... yeah. But do not think that this is the last of Felix, guys. Because, as pretty much what I told you, in The Lost Age, you do get to play as Felix as the main protagonist, based on the whole story arc between this game and the sequel. How it was meant to be entirely one game, but it couldn't be one game because Camelot couldn't even fit all the data into one Game Boy Advance cartridge, so they had to split it into 2 games. And so, since we have lost Felix in our sights, we have to go find Jenna right now. And Isaac is finally coming back to his senses, and we need to find the others as well, meaning that Kraden is still with Jenna. Oh, and and don't tell me that you still think that Felix is dead. If you played The Lost Age, then you'll know for a fact that he's still alive. And besides, it's been nearly 10 years since both games have released, so might as well not be any spoiler as of now. Oh well. And the Venus Lighthouse has shifted back into its regular formation. So now it's time for us to go and find Jenna. But how we're going to do that is actually quite weird, because we actually do get a bit of narration here that says, despite a long and tiring search, Jenna was nowhere to be found. So, yeah, we've been here for quite a while looking for Jenna, so the game just automatically skips to this time of the game. So, the place around the Venus Lighthouse is pretty much ruptured, and we can't even get to it. And the seas are too rough to look around there, so... So yeah, as you would have guessed, they have been looking around while we haven't even seen what they've been doing. And they have information as to what happened during the event, but evidently, they're going to be asking us the questions here where we don't even know exactly what went on. Again, the game is trying to put us in the first-person perspective and to answering questions that we have not seen or heard about. But oh well. And we are going to still continue searching for Jenna, but we're not only going to be looking for Jenna, but we still have another promise that we have to keep. But of course, we will have to find Sheba along with Jenna in the process, which, you know, Sheba will still be alive regardless, but... Who knew the sea would rise up when the lighthouse when the lighthouse ruptured or whatever, but yeah, really don't know what to say, guys. I mean, we made it to the end of the game. Yeah, this is basically the last scene before we have to leave Gondolin, and we're gonna go out into the ocean finally. And when I played this game, to be honest with you, I had no idea that this game was immediately gonna end off in a cliffhanger. I thought that this was like one whole game. When I played this game, and when I beat it, and I saw at the end, you know, it said, to be continued, I was like, oh, come on! I want to play more, that I've gotten so into it! But, while we are going through this ending sequence, I would like to talk about this game in general, and the Golden Sun series, as to why I really like it a whole lot. And some of the things I didn't even like, but, you know, some of the stuff that I liked and did not like, together. Now, what I really like about this game is that how it managed to become a very original IP on its own. Basically, excuse me, basically it is a JRPG by all means, but there are some newer things that has not been tried out yet in many JRPGs, like the whole thing with the puzzle-solving elements to where we can use our magic to try and activate some things, you know, with the whole pillars or stuff in case we wanted to move them or whatever. And also the game introduced the whole system where we can use the gene to increase our stats and be used in battle to have them become playable allies in a sense, and that way you can summon them to do some really strong, powerful abilities. That I really do like. Now, one of the things that I kind of really disliked about this game is that even though it is a JRPG, and when you compare this game to The Lost Age, it's, in a sense, this game in a sense is actually very linear. Because you start at one point, and then you make it all the way to the end of this continent where we're at. We start in Angara, and then we go to Gondolin. It's not like there's a big, huge world around us, which there is, but it's not more explored until we go into the Lost Age. And that's when the Lost Age actually is the complete opposite, where everything is actually more non-linear. This game is extremely linear from beginning to end, and the Lost Age is the complete opposite, because you have more freedom to search around the place to see what we can try to find or where we are supposed to go. So it actually makes you use your imagination a little bit. Now, when compared to The Lost Age, I know this game is pretty short, but I would have to say that out of all the games in the Golden Sun series, that this one is probably my all-time favorite. Because not only did it introduce us to the whole storyline of the game, but you pretty much, you know, with you pretty much playing in the role of the hero's shoes, you actually get an understanding of the characters and where they're coming from, and it actually starts to, and you actually start to like them based on the personalities that they have and their interactions with Isaac, where the game itself puts you into the perspective of the first person. So that's what I really like about the game. So it pretty much, in a sense, is playing out like a normal adventure, where you're finding party members and you go through and you try to complete this mission to where you're either trying to save the world or you're trying to let it be destroyed. And with the whole thing with the whether or not if you're saving the world is completely, it just leaves you in complete, what do you call it, in complete shock, or, you know, just complete confusion or whatever. It's very interesting. Now I know the Lost Age also introduced some things that are actually very interesting on its own, like with the whole thing where you can use multiple gene to summon different monsters and all that. And that's pretty cool and all. But, you know, it's just that with a game that's more heavily intricate, which the Lost Age is definitely intricate, very, very intricate. I kind of actually like the more simplistic and sophisticated nature that the first game tries to go for. I mean, sure, it would have been nice to see more, but I really think that this could have been something that could have been put into one game. Or if this game were to get a re-release on the Nintendo DS, then they could actually make it into one whole game on its own, since there would be enough space on a Nintendo DS cart to do that kind of thing. And when you take a look at Dark Dawn being a complete reboot, it's actually more the same thing. I mean, it doesn't mean it's a bad game on its own, but it's actually become kind of more the same as the first game, where you start off playing with some characters and you go find some newer ones to join you, and it actually feels like it's more of a linear adventure, because there are points where you can't even return to some places to where you need to try and obtain certain things, like some gene that you missed, or some of the synergy items that you couldn't even find from before, and all that stuff. So it was like that game was forcing, it's like that game is forcing you to try to get everything right the first time before you go to the next area where there's no point in returning. But on the plus side, it was nice to see a new Golden Sun game come to fruition. But anyway, enough of this talk. It's time to see that this game is concluded, and this Let's Play is going to be wrapped up. And we're about to take our first trip into the ocean. Even though they keep calling it the sea, but it's called the ocean because it's water that surrounds land. It's like an endless pattern, or like an endless abyss or whatever. Alright. Our first journey into the ocean is about to begin. And that concludes the first game of Golden Sun. Or that concludes the first episode of Golden Sun. And the next game, The Lost Age, takes place directly after that. So yes, that is Golden Sun in a nutshell. So my honest thoughts about this Let's Play. I think for an RPG, or for all the Let's Plays that I've done so far, I think this one actually turned out a lot better than most of the others that I've worked with. Specifically with the stuff that I wanted to show you, like where the certain gene are located, and showing you the data on the bosses and all that. I think it was a very enjoyable experience. So, does that mean I'm going to be doing The Lost Age anytime soon? Oh yeah, I'll definitely get to The Lost Age at some point, but I don't know when, because this year my main focus is definitely going to be the game Skyward Sword, and probably even what's the other? And also probably even Xenoblade Chronicles if I manage to finish up Skyward Sword at some point. Or it could take place anytime, maybe even after Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, but we'll have to see. But yes, Skyward Sword is going to be my next Let's Play, and you'll definitely see that. You'll definitely see that on Monday. But first things first, before we fully end off this Let's Play, even though we are going to officially end it off here, there's actually going to be one more video that I'm going to be showing you that I feel like it should have been included in this game as a whole. And I'm talking about that boss fight against the Tempest Lizard, because I feel like that we should include that into this game, so that way we can have all the bosses covered, and that way it feels like you can think of this game as being a full, complete 100% walkthrough. But for the most part, yes, this game, or this Let's Play, has pretty much been completed. And I really don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's a really good game. I think it is really revolutionary in terms of the presentation, basically with the whole 3D perspective of some of the battle arenas that you go through when you're fighting in random battles. I really like that. It really does give a meaning to what the Game Boy Advance is capable of, if it tries to still go for that Mode 7 feeling that the Super Nintendo had, and it definitely does. But for the most part, it's pretty good, both gameplay and graphics-wise, and music-wise, too. So yeah, this game has so many merits that it's definitely still stands up to the test, still stands up to whatever you call it, I can't even remember, but it doesn't matter. This game manages to stand up significantly even after 10 years, and I definitely think it's one of those games that needs to make it on the 3DS eShop, if they still intend to do Game Boy Advance games in the future, aside from what we see. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to save our data here, so that way we can transfer it over to the Lost Stage. And we will... Oh, wait a minute. I don't think we can continue our adventure after that point. Actually, you know what? Yes, I think we can, because I actually do need to show you that one of the boss fight. Now that I remember, yeah, I should definitely be able to go back over to the Suhala Desert and show you that. But anyway, what do we got going on right here? It's the Idejima, or the Idejima, and this is where Kraden and Jenna are located. And it seems like they were at the Venus Lighthouse, but they managed to escape in time. And Jenna is pretty cranky at this moment, because she wonders what happened to her brother, and she really hates being adrift in sea. And even Kraden says that she's way too cranky at the moment. And of course, she would be worried about her brother, so it makes sense. And of course, there's Alex right over there. And he says that there's something that he wishes to show us. So they get up and they come over to the beach that's right over here. And it looks like that Felix and Sheba actually managed to get out alright, since they've been washed up on shore here. So, yeah, big plot twist for the first-timers playing this game. And thus, it brings us to a cliffhanger. Well, anyway, gamers, this is RRPG, and I really thank you for watching this Let's Play from beginning to end. And be sure to tune in this Monday for Skyward Sword, as I will get started with the very first episode, and as well as something very special along with that Let's Play. So, anyway, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter with the links in the description. And if you like what you saw, then be sure to rate this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments below to let me know what you guys thought of this whole Let's Play. Alright, gamers, take care of yourselves, and I shall see you on the next Let's Play this Monday. And be sure to check out the bonus video, which should be airing up by tomorrow. Anyway, this is RRPG signing off. Later, gamers!